Push Effect in full effect. I got my man Caleb Digital in here. What's up, Caleb? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man,
good.
I'm good, man. Came all the way from Benson, North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
For a little drive, like 2.5 hours.
You didn't listen to me about that traffic, though.
I did. I thought it was going to be light, but it was tough, like the whole thing.
Yeah, that traffic is really crazy.
Man, yeah.
So let me give y'all a little background about Caleb. This is Caleb Digital. Man, he's a great videographer, great at FX. He does a lot more. Social media famous. Like, could you even really, you can say, like, how long you been in the game?
I would say about like three years now.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 years.
So what was like the biggest inspiration when doing your videos?
The biggest inspiration would definitely be seeing people like, I don't know if you heard about this channel. It's a channel called like Corridor.
Oh yeah, I definitely heard about it.
Yeah, Freddie Wong, all those people, they kind of pioneered it for other visual effects artists and like creators to like make what they imagine become real. That's pretty much what inspired me.
Okay, that's what inspired you.
Yeah.
Okay, so how'd you come up across those people?
Just YouTube. Just like I think I was like, I don't know how old. I know I was in middle school, but I was definitely inspired by that because I just ran across their video. I don't know which one it was, the first video I saw, but I saw it and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Right.
Like it was kind of previous too. Like when I was 7,
yeah, definitely.
I saw this one video of like this dragon or whatever. It was like really cheesy, but I loved it because I was 7.
Right.
I was
definitely.
like, it's really cool, and I was like, I really want to do that. But then later on, I saw Corridor and Freddie W and all those guys, and I was like, all right, well, this is definitely what I want to do now.
Right.
Like I thought it was like evident in the beginning, but that was like a confirmation for me.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Man. So, but I don't think people understand how young you are. Like you're 18 now, 18, 19?
No, I just turned 20.
Just turned 20?
May 1st, yeah.
Oh, May 1st. Happy birthday. Belated birthday.
Appreciate it.
But you've been doing this since you were like 17?
Yeah, beginning of sophomore year. Like right when I was going into sophomore year of high school, that's when I started like officially making videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How hard was it for you to like gain that concept of, the FX, the digital arts? How hard was that for you?
Yeah, that was it was a little complicated. I had a little background in it, of course. I had like some stuff because I did it since I was like 7. You know what I mean? I had like some concept of what I was doing.
Right.
But in reality, I had no idea what I was doing. Like it was just straight up figuring it out for myself, teaching myself from sophomore year to where I'm at right now. That's kind of how it started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Like, so when like you started posting your videos, you started gaining a little traction, you started seeing that increase. When did you start seeing that increase in like your following? And how exciting was that for you?
I can't remember exactly which came first, but when I started seeing a real increase was when I started working with King Vader. That was like my first kind of increase. And then after that, when I did a Mary J. Blige video.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That went viral.
That one, yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, yo, that was probably one of the funniest videos of, when was it, 2018, 2017?
Yeah, it was like 2017, almost 2018.
Yeah, that was probably the most funny. I think, didn't it make like a big headline? Not like a big headline, but like it was like on a big social media platform. I forgot who it was.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Shade Room.
Yeah.
It was on the Shade Room, right?
Room.
That's where I saw it.
It was on the Shade Room. It was on, I think, Daquan. It was all over the place, man.
Yo, it was just perfect how you placed everything, how you placed the little Star Wars thing. That thing was perfect.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I think it all started out, I got this message from this guy on Snapchat, and he was like, hey, like, would you want to work with like comedy.com? And I was like, bro, it's a dude on Snapchat, like, how serious could this be?
Right.
And I was just like, I kind of played along. He's like, I'm gonna call you on Friday, and I kind of just said, all right, whatever. But then I actually got the call on Friday, and I was like, oh, this is him. So he talked to me. He was telling me all these big things, like, oh, you could work with this creator and this creator and this creator, and then make this amount and this amount and this amount. I'm like, this is my first big deal. And they're like, hey, first video, here's this video of Mary J. Blige, see what you could do with it. And I'm like, all right, that sounds good. And I was hoping for like 10,000 views. That would have been the most views I ever got in my life at that point. And I was just like, all right, 10,000 views, let's get it. I did the video. It took me like a few hours or whatever, and then like just consistent hours though.
Okay.
I sent it back, and they posted it within like 30 minutes, right?
Wow.
And it got like 15,000 the first day. I'm like, okay, good. It passed my goal. I'm content. That's good. I went to school, got a call from like the CEO. And he was just like, yo, it's like at 35,000 views now. I'm like, really?
Wow.
So I took the bus home, and as soon as I got home, it was at 500,000 views. I'm like, whoa, this is getting crazy.
It's getting crazy.
I call my friend. I'm like, yo, it's at 500,000 views. He's like, yo, that's crazy. I turn around, 800,000 views. It was blowing up while I was talking.
Wow.
And that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, this is this is for real.
Uh-huh.
This is what I want to do. This is where I want to take this. You know what I mean? Because I noticed that if I work with companies or if I do my own thing or whatever, regardless, it's still going to take me somewhere. So it hit 1 million views that night, basically.
Right.
And it grew to like 6 million now on like Facebook and like all of the other places. I think it's like in total like 11 million views. And then Mary J. Blige herself watched it on a radio show. Yeah, she watched it. And I was really excited. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But I wasn't that excited because, unfortunately, my name was cut out of it. Because the Shade Room, they took my video and they took the time to actually like snip my name out. And I was like,
oh, man.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that kind of sucks, you know? And no one knew I did it. Like, some people did. Like, a lot of people did. But, like, the other people who was, like, watching on the Shade Room or wherever, and people were reposting it from the Shade Room, so it's even worse now. So now my video's out there without a name. Yeah. So, you know, that was just my learning experience when I was younger.
Okay.
I learned from that to never let anyone take that from me, you know what I mean, my credit. And that was a hard realization, but I learned from it, you know?
Okay. So in that realization, what are you doing different with that?
Watermarks, being in videos, you know what I mean, and showing like my talent from a different angle instead of just like doing the video and throwing it out there and hoping that someone will realize it's me. Okay. You know, because some people they don't tag you, they won't tag you. You know,
yeah, they'll take that credit from you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they'll just take the credit. They'll just be like, hey, I see that video, I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna post it. And that was a huge issue for me. Right. Back in the day. Especially when I first started, I've learned from it, and I definitely have some people to help me out and support me with it now. Right. But before, it was tough. It was terrible. Yeah.
So what's the biggest misconception in the whole social media realm? Having a bunch of followers. What is the biggest misconception that people don't realize?
The biggest misconception is you could have as many followers as you want, right, but not as much money as they think they make. I've seen people literally have 2 million views, followers or whatever, and they're like, broke. I have more money than them. You know what I mean? Right. It's just like a mind-blowing thing because people think it's all luxury, it's all this, it's all that. No, you got to work hard for everything. Right. It's not just the followers. It's not just the attention. It's also financial. It's also respect. You got to work for everything that you have when it comes to social media. It's not just one avenue. That's one big misconception that people really think it is. You know? It's tougher than people think, especially when another thing is also content, making content. That's one thing. People are like, oh, you make videos? That's it? I'm like, that's not it. That's not, it's tough. It's hard, especially for me because I'm a visual effects artist. Right. I have to go in, I have to, come up with this and come up with that. And then, me and my team, we would come up with video ideas together. Right. And then we would shoot it out. But still, after that, editing and visual effects and pacing and all that stuff takes a long time, and people don't know that. And then they get mad at me. They're like, Caleb, like, your videos, they're good, but the fans want more. They want to see me post consistently, which is something I'm working on right now. Still to this day, it's tough. Right.
So basically, your followers does not match your bank account. Yeah. And the second thing is they really don't know the grind that becomes behind making those videos. Yeah. Because I'm sure they take a long time. Like, what's the average time of how long it takes you to create content? What's the average time? If you want something like good, that you want to post and put out and have your name on, what's the average time?
I would say for something short, like a Snapchat video or whatever, it'd be like a day. Right. You know what I mean? And then like something a little bit more in effects heavy would be like 3 days or whatever. And then sometimes like the bigger ones take like a week or 2 weeks or even more than that. So sometimes
2 weeks.
Yeah, just one video. Sometimes I wouldn't post for like a month. I remember back when I was at like 20,000 followers, I wouldn't post for a month, and I would lose like 700 to 1,000 followers. Oh, wow. Just because, like consistency and relevancy is a huge thing on Instagram and YouTube and everything like that. So, yeah, that's the only really tough part.
Really tough part.
When it comes to this. It's just the consistency and making content that people would want to watch, That's hard.
And so how do you go about, like, looking at different videos and different ideas and saying, okay, this would go with that? What's the process of it?
The process would just be, it could be anything. Like my whole life is just full of things that I could just look at. Like I remember I made a video where I fought this chair, basically. And it was a stupid idea, but like it did really well. Right. I don't know. It's just like, when you stub your toe on something and you get mad, you want to hit it back, but it's just like, it's an inanimate object. It's not going to like fight me back. But I was like, but what if it did though? Oh, okay. And, so I stubbed my toe on the chair. And the chair got up, was like, yo, what's good? Right. And we started fighting, and like people loved that. So it's just like things you see. Like I just saw the chair one day, and I was like, yeah, it would be cool to do stuff like that. Or Even base it off popular things like Avengers Endgame. You know, I did a Thanos video recently, and that did, it did pretty well. Or Game of Thrones, I did a Game of Thrones video pretty soon. It's usually based off what's relevant or what people can relate to.
Okay.
That's really it,
That makes sense. So in all of that, what are the positives and the negatives of making these videos?
The positives is definitely the support. That's one thing I would definitely say. The people who support me are amazing. I've seen a lot of familiar faces over the years. They're like, yeah, I still support you. I still do this. I still do that. And I see them consistently. It's amazing. They treat the content, like it's something that they grew up with.
Right.
And then, also, of course, the deals and making it your full-time job. That's also a positive, but that's another story. The negatives is friends.
Right.
You lose friends. You lose a lot of things when it comes to like social media. Sometimes it depends on what you're doing, but and also stress.
Right.
You can fall under a lot of stress. Me personally, I did, and I take breaks now from like social media. Sometimes I take like a little week off or like 2 weeks off or whatever. Right. Just to like focus on myself and take a deep breath, because at the end of the day, it's like you can make it a 9 to 5.
Right.
Even though that's what I'm not trying to aim for, a 9 to 5. You can make it one by stressing yourself out, working all day, doing all the computer stuff. It could become a really taxing job. So that's one of the main negatives when it comes to like social media for me, at least.
Losing friends. Could you elaborate on that?
So losing friends. Sometimes they would ask you for a favor, like, "Hey, can you do this video for me?" And I can't pay you for it, but
that's right.
It's tough. Yeah, it's just a tough deal, because it's just like, oh, I've known you for this amount of years. Yeah, sure, I'll do this one video for you. Then they ask you again. They're like, hey, can you do this video for me for free? Even though I don't have a lot of followers, it's not going to benefit you at all.
Right.
And I know it sounds bad, but it's just business. You can't mix friends and business together. That it does not clash well at all.
Right.
So that's one thing I learned. You lose friends, not just that only, but like sometimes they automatically think you think you're it. Like you think you're the it boy or the it girl or whatever. Right. Once you get some followers and stuff, they start treating you differently, even though you did nothing. You're still the same person. It's just you put yourself in that position that you wanted to be in.
Okay.
And now they're just like, oh, he thinks he's all that, or she thinks she's all that.
Oh, yeah, just because you don't want to work with them. I mean, honestly, you're definitely doing the right thing in doing that. You're not wrong. People want, like, when you start realizing, like, your potential, and when you start realizing what you have as your brand, you'll stop giving out those discounts and stuff, and then people are as loyal to you as your last favor you do for them. Yeah. So if one time you say no, then they're not your friend. Were they ever your friend in the first place?
Exactly.
And it makes sense. Like, you just really have to realize that, coming up in the game like that, you're gaining traction like crazy. So coming up in the game like that, it's going to be people that's going to say, oh, Caleb, can I get this free? You have a lot of followers. I just need help. Like, you were working and they wasn't. Wow. So that kind of, it just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So when you saying losing friends, I was like, wow, I didn't know you was losing friends like that and like growing up in this game,
Yeah. I mean, like there was a group that I had a while ago. We're all friends now. Of course, we remade up, but it was Digital Edge Films. That was my like main channel. And it was a group of us. We all started, we were in high school. We're like, yeah, let's do these videos. It was just fun. That was it. It was just straight fun. Then it became more about the money and this and the other. I started Caleb Digital after that. I wasn't myself. I was like just a group. I started Caleb Digital. They started getting mad because I was doing this and I was doing that, and they weren't getting anything out of it, which, it's a human thing to do, to react to.
Right.
But I was just like, look, I can't put my career in the hands of people that aren't as passionate as me.
Right.
So I was like, if I do that, I'm just like, if I do that, then I'm only going to lose from here on out.
Right.
So I did. I left the group, and we didn't talk for 2 years. Like none of us,
right.
Except for one of them. I'm still really good friends with him, and we all chill out now and stuff like that because we're older now. We pretty much realized what was going on, but at that time it was just strife against each other.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
That makes sense.
When it comes to losing friends, it's either they get jealous that you're making money, or they get mad that you're doing this, that, and the other without them, and it becomes a problem. Okay. And I realize that I can't talk too much when it comes to people. I can't tell them, oh, Facebook did this for me, or I did this with this company, or I did this with this company, because it becomes bragging after a while. I don't think of it like that because I'm just like, I don't ever really brag or like show off like that. So I tell certain people certain things just because like that's my outlet.
Right.
I don't like, you know, I'm just like, here, let me just throw it out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's my accomplishments. But some people will see it as bragging, and I completely understand that now.
Okay.
I just didn't think of that because I was just, you know.
Yeah, because I think it's a natural human thing as well, sort of. Because when you're not in the same position as somebody else, and they keep and then the same person that comes to you all the time saying the positives about what's happening with them, what keeps going on, how they're increasing, you feel like you're in the same place. You know, I think people sort of it's a natural thing to do. I don't know. I'm a little on the fence about it.
Yeah.
About like how people should react. I mean, if you're around somebody, I think if you're around somebody that's doing something that good, I think it should inspire you as well as like not in a bad it should be in a motivational jealousy way, if that makes sense. Like, all right, he's doing this, well, let me top this.
Yeah.
You know, let me try to do something. Like if I'm in the same realm, let me try to do something different than him and just keep grinding that way. You get it?
Exactly. Yeah. Because I thought that's what it was. I thought it was just inspiration, you know, for like people like, hey, I did this deal with this company and I got this much. You could do it too.
Right.
We're in the same area right now.
Right.
But that's not always how it works, you know, unfortunately, which is fine. It's still kind of like on the fence thing, like, oh, maybe they should be this way or maybe they should be that way.
Right.
But like people react to things differently.
Right.
So that's what I learned from that. Unfortunately, you know, it happens though.
So I'm sure that your FX videography, I'm sure it's like made you look at things a different way. Is there anything like that pops out to you about how you look at things now?
I look at things now in a very creative mindset. I think of things just like, okay, well, before I used to like, I don't know, just look at something out there, an inanimate object or whatever, and just think that's it. But then I look at it and I'm like, I could do so much with this just by recording it. You know what I mean? I could change this. I can make this pop out, or I can make this transform into this and make people go crazy over it, or make people go like, wow, like that's really amazing, you know?
Right.
So I realized that from before, doing this type of content and staying in this type of field, it really opens up, you know, another view of things, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the most exciting person you work with? Because I know you said you're in a few weeks you're going to see Funny Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Funny Mike, Runic, you know, there's really cool people.
Right.
But I don't know.
I know there's a lot of exciting people that you work with and that's in your resume. So I was like, man, there's probably, I don't know if he has a favorite one. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I've worked with Fabulous. I've met up with Jalil White.
Right.
I know, you know, some of Drake's friends and stuff like that. I've been on Chris Brown's page. You know, it's kind of hard to pick because there's so many really great people.
Right.
You know, like even just in my friend group alone, like Fame Hazel, you know what I mean? Like the dude who runs around.
Yeah.
Naruto. Yeah, no, that's my homie. I was just talking to him on the way here.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, just the people that I associate myself with, you know, I feel like that's kind of like my whole excitement. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's hard. I have to think back to see who is my favorite to work with.
I think that's a little a hard on the spot question.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because you've been working with so many people, so many artists, so many videographers. It's probably hard to like think of one off the top of the head, and you know probably don't even want to make anybody else mad or something. They're probably not, but you know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm working with Atlantic Records.
Right.
So it's like pretty much any artist in that record label, you know, I could work with or whatever, you know, or they would send me work from those people sometimes. So it's just like sometimes I'll see a rapper or whatever, or like I'd work with him, or I would work with a famous actor or someone who used to be on this show, or work on a movie deal or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so it just varies. I have a favorite collection of moments, I should say.
Okay.
But I don't know, people, it's kind of hard to pick. Like,
what's your favorite collection of moments?
My favorite collection of moments was going out to Los Angeles and meeting Jalil White for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was awesome. He was a really nice guy. Took us out to eat and everything.
Right.
You know, we chilled out with him the whole entire day.
Oh, wow.
It was really cool. Yeah, no, he's a really cool guy.
Man, I think there's another misconception about like how famous people are, that they're not regular people. You know,
Yeah.
I work for the Charlotte Hornets, so you know, going in the locker rooms, talking to LeBron James and talking to Dwayne Wade and.
You did that?
Yeah. I work for the radio, so
Jeez.
so we have to go get interview and stuff. We have to go get sound for our sound bites for the content, and so you think that they will be you know, for who LeBron, I think for me, LeBron James is probably the most humblest person. Like, it was the most surprising because being of his stature and being who he is, you would think, and he can be, if he wanted to, be like an uppity guy, you know, nose up, probably the humblest person I've ever met. Me and Dwayne Wade was joking with me. I was just like, oh, okay. I was getting the audio from LeBron James. He was like, I was like, I accidentally hit his ice pack. He said, you cool, man. Just don't step on me with them hard bottoms because his feet was out. So I'm sitting there like, and I was like, okay. So just, I think that's probably the most misconception that people have that is people, there aren't regular people. Like, I go into those locker rooms all the time and they're joking on them like they're out in the street. They're joking on each other like they're out in the street. So it's like, it's regular. Yeah. So I think people don't understand like who people really are. There are people at the end of the day too, right?
Yeah, that's amazing though. Yeah. I didn't know you. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
LeBron James and all that. Wow.
Oh yeah. It's just it's regular. Like, it's not like it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's what it is. It's just my job. I think we come there to do a job. Like, you, when you're recording and you see a famous person, you're not really, I don't know if you're not as starstruck anymore because, you know, they're just people. We're both here to do a job.
Yeah. I learned that actually from my good friend Wes.
Right.
His name is Wes Good on Instagram and like all that stuff. He told me, he's like, look, when you're around like celebrities and stuff, when you're in LA, you can't act starstruck like that too much because it's gonna throw you off. You're not gonna look professional.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Can't look like a fanboy.
Yeah, I can't act like a fanboy. I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, I don't ever like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, when I meet them, you know what I mean? But sometimes when I get the DM from them or whatever, it's like a celebrity DM me, I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool, you know.
Right.
Like, I remember we were driving and we saw like Caitlyn Jenner just like on the street, right? And one of my friends, he was just like, yo, that's Caitlyn Jenner. I'm like, bro, stop lying.
Right.
He's like, that's Caitlyn Jenner. I'm like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy. And that's kind of when he told me about like, yo, just calm down though, don't like, I mean, like, it's just Caitlyn Jenner, so it's not really. But yeah, you know, just in general, he was just like, when you meet celebrities, because you're gonna see a lot in LA. We were in Studio City.
Yeah.
He was just like, you know, just don't go crazy, don't like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's what I learned, and it helps.
Okay.
It makes you look a lot more professional.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think so. I'm gonna head over to this subject about the business side. So do you have packs? Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Like, that you're selling?
Visual effects packs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that entail?
So basically, a while ago, people were always saying like, yo, I want to do what you're doing. I want to start. Can you teach me? Can you like show me where to start? I'm like, all right, let me just do this. I'm gonna make a package, so even beginners or even pros can use this in the same exact field. And I pre-made like energy balls, you know, explosions, lightning, this and the other, everything that people would want to use in like action movies and stuff. And I made it into a package and I put it on my store, and people can buy it. And now all they have to do is just drag and drop it in their videos, and that's pretty much it.
Wow, is that easy?
Yeah, it's that easy. I made like a pre-multiply background so they could just drag and drop it.
I'm sure it was hard for you to like make that. Like, how hard was that to like make something of that effect, and then for somebody else it can be so easy, like just so easy? How hard was that?
Yeah, it's like I felt like I was developing an app for a minute, you know what I mean? Like, it was hard because it was my first time ever doing that. And it took like a month to actually make the whole pack. I think probably a little bit more, like a month to make my first pack. And then I released it on my store, because on my store I didn't have any clothing, no nothing. It was just packs.
Right.
As it was just 2 packs. Yeah. The Crisis pack, and I'm pretty sure the Blaze maybe pack. I can't remember. But it was 2 packs on there, and I was like, hey, if you guys want to do your own effects now, you could just drag and drop in your videos. I mean, like companies, like apps have hit me up and said, I want your effects packs in the app, just like Snapchat when you press the filter and it pops up. Yeah, it'll be like that. You know,
you can't give us no. Yeah, I know those. You can't. I know you can't.
Sometimes, it's a little tough because inside the deal, there's like, you know,
like non-disclosures.
Yeah. There's certain things. Yeah, but I'm just like, the pack was really cool. It at first when I released it, like no one got it. I'm like, oh man. It was like the first 3 days. I'm like, oh man, it's kind of discouraging. I almost took the store down for a minute.
Right.
But then out of nowhere, just like people were just buying this pack, and it was just going crazy. And I still see people to this day. They tag me in videos like, oh hey, I used your pack, and I see like, you know, the particle effects that I use and stuff like that. Like even like I saw this one. It was like a father and son duo where they like went Super Saiyan. I'm like, that's cool.
That is.
You know what I mean? It's cool to see that people is bringing people together at the same time too. You know, like I'm just watching something that I took like weeks to simulate and make and stuff like that. People could just enjoy it now.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Caleb?
Just growing and inspiring thousands of people, maybe even millions. You know, who knows from here on out.
Word. That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Definitely, yeah. It was fun.
Telling people where they can follow you at.
You can follow me at Caleb Farrell, CalebFarrell. So yeah, that's my Instagram, and you can also hit me up on YouTube, whatever. Just Caleb Digital.
Right.
That's it.
So this is the Push Effect. We are gone.